Hey guys, so if you've been to the beauty section of Target in the last 6 months, you may have seen right up at the front Color Story eyeshadow palettes. I picked those up and looked at them so many times and I thought about it and I was like, I've never heard of this brand. I've never seen any YouTube videos on it, and some of them I thought were really pretty. But I would always end up saying, no, there's other things right now that I want more. Well, yesterday I was at Target and all the Color Story eyeshadow palettes are now in the clearance section. And there is no Color Story section in the beauty department. So I guess that's the end of Color Story. So I looked at the price and I said, yeah, okay. Now I'll bite the bullet. These palettes were originally $9.99. They are now on clearance for $6.98. So you get 16 shadows basically for $7. So you kind of can't go wrong with that. So the one that I thought was pretty was Velvet Rose. And isn't the packaging gorgeous on that? And there's the clearance sticker right there. So if you can't find these, ask somebody, because usually there's at least one person stocking that section, and they can at least show you where the clearance sections are, because in the beauty department that I was in, there were actually two huge end caps full of stuff on clearance, and I also got something else. This is another brand that I think is exclusive to Target. It's called Love, Beauty, and Planet. And I got the Shea Velvet Body Lotion in the scent Shea Butter and Sandalwood. I love sandalwood. That's one of my all-time favorite scents. And this was originally $8.99 and I got it for $4.88. So like 50% off. And it smells like heaven. And last night I used it as a hand cream, and then today I used it when I got out of the shower on my body, and it's really nice. And they had a whole bunch of those in the clearance section. So all right, so today I thought that we could test out this Velvet Rose palette. So let me show you what it looks like. So those are the colors, and this was definitely my favorite one. I thought it was really beautiful. So I'm going to start with my Urban Decay primer potion, and when I showed you this in a haul, I think I may have forgotten to say that I buy the anti-aging one. The regular formula is too drying on my eyelids, so I do really like the anti-aging one though. And if you want to know about any of the other products that I'm already wearing, everything will be listed in the description box as always. In yesterday's video, I applied liquid eyeliner, pencil eyeliner, false lashes. I did all that in yesterday's video, so I am going to skip over that step today because I just did that yesterday. So you can always refer to that video for that step. Okay, so let's start with my Morphe M506 brush, and I'm going to go in with the shade Cypress because I think that would make an excellent crease shade. And it does. Now when I dipped my brush in the shadow, it seemed like most of the other eyeshadows that I usually use, you know, somewhat powdery. And I'm liking the pigmentation on this. because it's not overpowering, but it is showing up. You know what's funny? I find that with a lot of eyeshadow brands, either I really love their matte formulas and I don't like their shimmers, or vice versa. There aren't that many companies that can get both formulas right. By the way, I posted a poll on Twitter, and it only has a few hours left on it. So if you want to vote on that, go over to my Twitter account. And it is in regards to what will be my next video. And I had an idea for a video that I'm going to do using specific shades. And so if you want to have a say on what eyeshadow palette I use, I gave 3 choices. Last time I checked, it was a tie. So if you want to be the tiebreaker, head over to my Twitter account. It's just Mrs. the Doll, all one word. Okay, what I'm noticing about this is the shade Cypress. When you look at it, it looks like a taupe, but it's got a lot of purple in it, doesn't it? So it doesn't apply the shade that I was expecting. I mean, it's okay that it's this color, but what color it is in the pan is actually quite different than what it is in reality. Interesting. Okay, and this shade Twilight underneath it, I'm going to swatch that with my finger because I want to see what the texture is like. Ooh, that's really pretty. And you know what? I think this is going to be the kind of shade that is going to apply best with your finger rather than a brush. So let's put that on my lids. So this is like a metallic taupe, silvery taupe. Yeah, I don't see any gold in there, so I'm gonna say like a silvery taupe. Oh yeah, that's playing really nice with my finger. Metallic shades, metallic eyeshadows usually do apply best with your finger. And if you're somebody who doesn't like using your finger, what you can do to get the same kind of application is take a flat shader brush and maybe spray it with a little bit of setting spray, and that will emulate using your finger. Oh, see, now that's got a little bit of a purple pull to it too, but a different type of purple than what I put in my crease. That's like a warmer purple in my crease. Okay. Okay, I just grabbed this e.l.f. brush. It's a contour brush, but I like using this as the brow bone highlight brush. And I haven't done anything in the brow bone area, so let's see. The lightest shade is called Fair. So let's pop a little bit of that in the brow bone highlight area. Now, I'm not really loving these 2 shades of purple together, and I don't see any other matte shadows that I can use. That shade Fair is matte, but of course that's too light, and this one is called Suede, and that is too light as well. So I think I'm going to have to go in with a shade that has some shimmer in it. So let's see. these are the choices here. So that's the one that I put on my lids. I'm thinking this right here would probably be my best bet. So let's try layering some of that over that other crease shade because, yeah, I don't think that that Cypress shade really looks good with the Twilight shade. So I'm just going to dip that same Morphe brush into the shade Retrograde, which is the one I just showed you. Oh yeah, that's better. And it seems to be layering okay on top of the other one. And then I'm just going to take a little bit more and put it in the outside part of my lid. All right, that's much better. And it makes it a little interesting because you can see a little bit of the warmer shade kind of peeking out a little bit. Hmm. Okay, and like I did in yesterday's video, I'm going to take Maybelline Tattoo Studio Gel Pencil Liner in Sparkling Silver. And I'm going to put some of that in my inner corners. And let's see, let's put some shadow along the lower lash line so that this doesn't look really imbalanced. I'm going to use this Zoeva pencil brush. And I think I'm going to use some of that Retrograde that I applied, the second color that I used in the crease. And I'm going to take some CoverGirl Perfect Point Plus in Black Onyx and put that on my waterline. And I'm going to apply my liquid liner and lashes and be right back. Okay, so what I did next was I took a little bit of Essence Lash Princess False Lash mascara and just did my lower lashes. And then I didn't use any liquid liner. I just used the magnetic liner and lashes that I used in yesterday's video. And this time I used 2 layers like they recommend, and the lashes went on great. But then I had one side that had a slightly uneven line, so I just used a little bit of NYX Epic ink liner to just smooth out that one line that was a little bit bumpy. And then I took out those Haus Laboratory wing decals that I showed you in yesterday's video. And this time, instead of using one of the long skinny wings, I used a set from the other row, which are shorter and fatter. So that's what I have for the wings. I'll tell you, they feel a little funny on, but once you get used to having them on, you don't really notice it anymore. It's just like with false lashes. You know they're there and you can feel them, but you just get used to it. But I mean, I could never do such perfect wings with a liquid liner, although right before I started using these, I had just gotten really good at making them even. But yeah, so that's what I did. Oh, and then I took my Rite Aid Renewal brush and I just buffed out the edges a little bit, um, just to kind of take away some of the harshness there. So what do I think of this palette? I was a little thrown by that matte shade going on like a warm purple. And I wish there were more matte shades in the palette that were like mid-tone. I mean, because really that's the only one that's in there. So if I use this palette again now, I'm probably going to want to pull in a mid-tone shade in another color to use with some of these other shimmery shades. Because I don't think that warm purple is going to work with most of these. So yeah, this isn't much of a standalone palette. I mean, I feel like I kind of made it work with using that retrograde shade with Twilight, but and it's okay to use a shimmer in the crease. I just kind of prefer mattes. I don't know, that's the old school in me, I guess, but I do think this is worth the $6.98 I paid for it, and they have loads of other palettes to choose from too, so if this color scheme is not your cup of tea, they have a bunch of other color stories. Get it? Color stories. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Vote in my poll if you haven't done so already to determine what palette is going to be used in my next video. And thanks for watching. Give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye, guys.